For the first time this season, the Baltimore Ravens ended up playing Trenton Simpson, and the guy showed a lot of promise on tape. To me, this guy's going to be a very, very good linebacker, and you can already see the flashes. And yes, some people are going to talk about the fact he hasn't really played this season. And of course, we can all kind of come to the conclusion that you got two really good linebackers in front of him, which makes sense. Plus, using a rookie to allow him to develop in his rookie season, I think is a strategy that a lot of teams have been utilizing more recently. And I think based off of yesterday's tape, Simpson looked very, very good. Like, there are moments on tape where you looked at this guy and said, this stuff right here will translate into the NFL. Right? There's plays like this right here on tape where Simpson's playing as an inside linebacker. Keep in mind, the Pittsburgh Steelers have their starting offensive lineman in. Isaac Seumalo's probably the Steelers' best offensive lineman at the moment. The guy's going to come directly out at Simpson, and Simpson does a great job with the hands. He's going to get his hands to the inside of Isaac Seumalo. He's going to move this guy over, shed him, get off the block, and around it. To me, that's a good job shedding a block by a pretty good guard. And these are the little things that we saw on tape. Play in, play out. And today, of course, we're going to analyze the tape. I'm very, very excited to get into Simpson's tape. Let's jump right into it. Check this play out. So Simpson's going to actually get a sack here, a 6-yard loss on 2nd and 14. Basically, he's going to force the Steelers here to punt the football. A really, really nice job getting the sack. This was the second down play. On 3rd down, they basically only picked up a yard. And then ultimately, they punted the football. But I love the blitz here. I want you guys to watch the center here. He's going to point to the right of the screen here. So what he's doing, he's calling the protection call. The Steelers are basically saying we're going to slide over here to the right, and we're going to keep an eye on the cornerback here who may ultimately be the guy that comes. So because of that, they're going to slide towards that side. So what that means is the left guard here will ultimately pick up number 98. The center, right guard, right tackle are going to slide over here to the right, and they'll pick up 92, 50, plus possibly the blitzer here. And ultimately, it's going to be Simpson that's going to blitz. So the offensive line got this call wrong, right? They weren't able to process it properly. They didn't realize who was actually coming. At number 50, the defensive end also is going to simulate pressure. Let me go ahead and back this up. Number 50, Van Noy here is going to simulate the pressure. He's on the line of scrimmage, but ultimately he drops off. So you can see that the offensive line is stuck, sliding to the right, sliding towards basically nobody, right? You're going to basically end up 3 guys, the center, left guard, left tackle. They're all basically sliding to number 92 here. And Simpson obviously comes free. That's a great design right there by the defensive coordinator. Of course, you get the 6-yard sack. Check this play out. You're going to get a 3-yard run here by the running back. A really nice job by Simpson to beat the starting left tackle of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, this is a starting group for the Steelers with the backups in for the Ravens. Although it's not 100% of the backups, you still got some backup players in. But Simpson's going to do a great job here. He's going to get his hands to the inside of the left tackle right there. And look at him push away the left tackle, get around the left tackle, and get off the block. This is what we call for linebackers having active hands. Having the ability to put your hands into an offensive lineman, create that separation to really get off the block, really fight through it. I think this was one of the question marks that a lot of people had for Simpson as he came from Clemson into the NFL. And that is that, will he be strong enough to take NFL caliber offensive linemen on? Will he be strong enough to get off of blocks? And I think with the tape we saw, he definitely does do a good job with his hands. He knows how to create that separation. So that's a nice job right there. Let's get into the next snap. All right, you guys, check this play out. This one's going to pick up 5 yards here. Simpson, as he gets into the league, this is going to be the one thing he has to improve on. He's going to have to realize that when the defense is playing a light box, he has to be able to recognize certain keys within a play. So obviously this plays a zone run to the right, but it is a split zone. So you're going to get the tight end here to come and block backside on number 95. Simpson has to be able to recognize the tight end that's coming over here to the left. You can see on this one, Queen's going to actually point it out to Simpson. He's going to tell him to go to the left. And to me, I almost feel like this is one of the things Simpson has to work on. He has to be able to recognize these things a little bit faster. Obviously, on this play, you're going to see that the play is actually going to end up going to the right. And that's partly because of the fact that Queen gets out of his gap. Now, this play doesn't really matter because ultimately it does end up getting stopped for only 5 yards. But I want to show you guys this other play here. And this one's the same exact thing. It's a split zone. This one's going to end up picking up 12 yards. And on this one, Queen's going to overplay it to the right side. So here's the one thing with zone runs that, it gets very, very tricky. It's very hard to stop these plays because what ends up happening is these two guys are going to double team on number 92 and they're going to block up to the inside linebacker. And that's going to create a natural cutback lane here for the running back, especially since the tight end here is coming on the backside wham block on number 95. Now, of course, this is a split zone. So what that means is there's also the possibility the running back can hit it to the front side based on the block by the left tackle and left guard. If these two guys are successfully able to double team here and reach up to number 53, or at least get some sort of turn on the defensive tackle here, the running back can technically hit this on the front side. So what ends up happening on this play when you guys watch this play is this isn't going to be a good enough block. At the same time, Simpson's going to end up stepping over here to the right, and you'll see on the backside, the left guard, left tackle end up moving number 96 and they get up to number 30. And you'll see that 30 is going to basically get hooked off. So on this one, he doesn't do a good enough job getting over the top, right? And this play ended up picking up about 12 yards. And this is going to be one of the things that Simpson's going to have to improve on. And I'm not showing you guys this play to make fun of the guy or talk shit or whatever. The point is these are the little things he'll have to continue to improve on, right? Because we saw the play a little bit later on in the game where Queen was pointing to Simpson to basically get back over the top to the left, right? So this one right here ended up going for 12 yards. Not a big deal. Obviously, little things that he'll have to continue to improve on. Still a very, very good game. And there's a couple more plays I want to show you guys. Starting with this play right here. What Simpson's going to end up doing on this play, to me, is a really, really nice job. So he obviously is stepping up because he has some sort of blitz. But he does a great job getting off the block. And I always say this, for a player to be able to have success, if you're a defensive lineman, if you're a linebacker, if you're a safety, you got to be able to get off blocks. It is easily the most important trait to have. Now, you can do it however it works for you. Rather you're just stronger than someone and maybe you rip past someone, or maybe you're great with the hand, so you swipe past an offensive lineman. Some guys are strong, so they'll bench press guys. On this one, you can see Simpson, as he is going to come down here to blitz the B gap, the left tackle is going to reach to the inside of Simpson here. And he does a pretty good job initially getting to the inside. Again, it's a split zone concept, as you guys can see if you guys watch number 11 here. He's going to go from where he's ultimately lined up. He's going to ultimately block the backside defensive lineman. And to me, Simpson does end up getting reached by 65. So within this play, Simpson now has to fight and get back over the top because he ultimately gets reached. He should not have given up the B gap or the inside of the left tackle. So as soon as he gets reached, he has to fight through it, and he does a great job creating the separation and getting around the block. He's going to end up bench pressing the left tackle, which is a very, very hard thing to do, right? But the hand placement is perfectly to the inside of the left tackle, and right there he creates that separation. So you see this left tackle get into him. He creates the separation right there. Love the base, love the footwork. Everything about it is perfect. Gets around the block, gets off the block, and ultimately is one of the guys that kind of ends up getting in there to make sure the running back comes down. So that's a really good job right there by Simpson. Let's go ahead and get into the next snap. Check this play out here. The defense is in a cover 6, so Simpson has to get into the curl flats. He's going to do a great job coming downhill and making the tackle on the running back, who, if the running back breaks this, picks up 30 yards. And Simpson shuts it down. So it's a great job right there. This was 3rd and 6. The score at the point is 14-7. And Simpson stepped up in a key clutch moment to make the tackle. Some people will say, maybe he should wrap this up. But to me, coming downhill and smacking a pretty good running back in Najee Harris and doing a great job with it to make sure he gets down onto the ground. You can see he actually even wraps it up at the end of this. He's going to end up grabbing the feet after he makes the hit. You can see right that he grabs onto the feet of Najee Harris, and that ultimately brings him down. So that's a great tackle by the linebacker in open space. Let's get into the next snap. All right, so you got another split zone once again. Again, just to make it clear, if you guys don't know this yet, this is the bread and butter of the Pittsburgh Steelers. This time it's going to be Queen that's actually not going to be able to get over the top to the left. You can see right there, he's just, a step late to get over the top. This is something that the Steelers love to run, and this is something that is very, very difficult to stop in its own sense, right? Now, of course, I'm showing you guys this play, not to point out Queen, but I like how Simpson recognizes this play. He's going to make sure to step up into his gap. Keep in mind, he's the front side of this inside zone. So he's going to step up in his gap, and from there, he's going to just mirror the running back as the running back cuts his back to the left side. So that's a great job not getting blocked. This offensive lineman here, I believe it's the right guard, has the double on 58, and then he has to climb up to Simpson. He has to get to Simpson and shut down Simpson. Of course, he's not able to get off the block. The linebacker is actually able to get over the top before the guard can climb up. So it's a good job in terms of movement skills to be able to flow with the football, flow with the running back, kind of mirror that from the right to the left. Great job. Let's get into the next snap. All right, guys, check this out. Once again, you're going to get another split zone run. This time, Simpson's on the line of scrimmage, so he's going to be that guy that the tight end's coming to wham a block on, right? Really be that backside guy. So Simpson has to take this block on. He does a phenomenal job, honestly, playing this underneath. I love the angle he takes. As he makes contact here with the tight end, he's going to give this tight end the right shoulder, and he's going to really get the left arm in there to try to wrap the running back up. He does a pretty good job making contact with Harris. Ultimately, they bring him down. Pretty nice job right there. Wanted to point this play out. I do like how the Ravens do put Simpson on the line of scrimmage a lot. I think the very first play of the game, he was on the line of scrimmage. A couple plays since then, he was also on the line of scrimmage. Of course, on this play, once again on the line of scrimmage. Final play right here, once again, Simpson's on the line of scrimmage. This was the final play that he was in the game, minus the quarterback knee at the end of the game. Just a really beautiful job by Trenton Simpson to step up and make the play. This play ended up losing 5 yards. And this is the type of recognition and processing that we love to see from certain guys. You know, when these offensive linemen here start to block downwards, as you'll see, sometimes what linebackers will do is they'll jump this and they'll also kind of take the downward trend, right? Because they'll see these guys come down to the left. But what Simpson's going to do instead is, as the tackle here, Broderick Jones is going to actually step over here to the right. He's going to actually follow that same guy. He's not going to watch the interior guys. He's going to instead keep his eye on the tackle. And he also recognizes the running back Warren here coming in motion. I love this. I love the fact that he's able to get out there and not let Warren get to the outside. And he blows this up, and they ultimately lose 5 yards on this play. It's a great job right there. In my opinion, I think Simpson is the real deal. The guy flashed yesterday on tape. Obviously, he still has a couple things he has to work on. He still has a couple things he needs to develop and get better at. But you can see the flashes. You know, the guy is very quick. He knows how to use his hands. He can get off blocks. And in my opinion, Simpson's an absolute steal. The Clemson linebacker, when he was coming out of college last draft cycle, was one of my favorite defensive players coming out. And I was surprised when we saw him kind of slip in the draft a little bit. I was pretty sure he would have been the first linebacker taken, if not the second, right after Campbell, who ultimately ended up going in the first round. But Simpson wasn't not only the first, but a bunch of other linebackers ended up going before him. And I wouldn't be shocked if in 3 or 4 years, this guy's an all-pro caliber player and some of these other guys are already on their second teams. I think certain teams made a mistake not taking Simpson. The Ravens got a good one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, consider subscribing. We will be covering the Ravens in the playoffs, so subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I'll see you guys next time with another video.